So, starting from 17th of December 2018, all forms of pornography, NSFW, 18 plus content will be banned from Tumblr and no longer allowed on the platform. This change in policy has happened due to last month's scandal where Tumblr was taking off the iOS store due to child pornography that was found to have slipped through their filters. To quote, "We're committed to helping build a safe online environment for all users, and we have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to media featuring child sexual exploitation and abuse. As this is an industry-wide problem, we work collaboratively with our industry peers and partners at NCMEC to actively monitor content uploaded to the platform. Every image uploaded to Tumblr is scanned against an industry database of known child sexual abuse material, and images that are detected never reach the platform. A routine audit discovered content on our platform that had not yet been included in the industry database. We immediately removed this content. Content safeguards are a challenging aspect of operating scaled platforms. We're continuously assessing further steps we can take to improve, and there is no higher priority for our team." But of course, the censorship did not just start from that point onward. Already, content creators who specialise in adult material were having their accounts removed from Tumblr, most notably artists like Jasperlock, who specialises in creating aged-up erotic art of characters from shows like Voltron and My Hero Academia, who portray in their canon episodes characters who are under the age of 18. This, while clearly not being against terms of service, and she makes them older than they actually are, showed the levels that Tumblr were willing to go down in order to save their site from the reputation of being a place that harbours child pornography. In fact, Jazz's case was considered so severe that any attempt to create a new account would have resulted in further bans. Only to date has the ban been made official, though it is pretty clear from this Daily Dot article that it was already underway. Now it has been made official, and this is what Tumblr had to say. Is adult content allowed on Tumblr? Starting December 17th, adult content will not be allowed on Tumblr regardless of how old you are. You can read more about what kinds of content are not allowed on Tumblr in our community guidelines. If you spot a post that you don't think belongs on Tumblr period, you can report it. From the dashboard or in search results, tap or click the share menu, paper airplane, at the bottom of the post and hit report. So already we have our first issue. No matter how old you are, you will not be allowed to post adult content onto the site, period. So, in a sense, it is not just trying to protect their own profit margins, which by the way, were certainly not affected by the posting of adult content, if this Twitter user's Verizon chart is to go by. In fact, it seems to be the complete opposite. If anything, it seems to be from a growing attitude in the West that adults need to be policed, need to be coddled and looked after from problematic or degenerate material, depending on which extreme you are a part of. These bourgeois leftist norms, as it is Silicon Valley that Tumblr is situated in, that has definitely influenced this sex-negative outlook. Adults can be influenced negatively by sexual representations, men especially, and can allegedly be turned into misogynists just by viewing too much porn or video games. It depends really what you look at. There's no evidence for this, but the SCWs, or even the alt-right, will abide by the hypodermic needle theory, it seems, whenever it suits them. However, it's not just this, but clearly there has been a push for a long time now to censor not just pornography, but other types of content. Usually it has been of a political nature, though Tumblr is mostly populated by SCWs, so it isn't really a concern there, but nonetheless, this attitude of censorship and policing that Silicon Valley has decided to take upon itself has influenced this decision by Tumblr. If they can ban political content, they can ban sexual content, anything deemed problematic in any way. Also, we can clearly see that just because of the fact that child pornography was deemed strong enough to completely remove Tumblr from an important app that can generate revenue, much like how Gab was removed due to political reasons. Why is this so? One can only speculate, but I believe, hypothetically, that essentially this culture of authoritarianism has grown so strong that anything that can be used as a casus belli to police the internet can and will be used. This could be a case of the tech giants policing themselves or their own behaviour spiralling out of control. Who can say, as we must move on. What is adult content? Adult content primarily includes photos, videos or GIFs that show real-life human genitals or female-presenting nipples, and any content, including photos, videos, GIFs, and illustrations that depicts sex acts. So here, the definition has been made, and well, I don't really have much of an issue with the definition, but the forms in which this definition can take. Illustrations specifically. This is not real, it's fake, it's imaginary, and in many cases, it goes beyond even human physiology and based either on animals or even sort of alien concept. Even the imaginary is not exempt as much as the real is. This is what Louis Levi and I tried to tell people during the Great Lowly debate. One has to realise if you're willing to censor even fiction, regardless of how morally reprehensible it might or might not be, censorship of anything else will soon follow. It is not how a society needs to function. That might be me butchering the point, but essentially, censorship of benign or unexploitative art, either using real people or fictional people, will inevitably lead to more censorship. What is still permitted? Examples of exceptions that are still permitted are exposed female presenting nipples in connection with breastfeeding, birth or afterbirth moments, and health-related situations such as post-mastectomy or gender confirmation surgery. Written content such as erotica, nudity related to political or newsworthy speech, and nudity found in art such as sculptures and illustrations are also stuff that can be freely posted on Tumblr. So essentially, only the written word and what Tumblr deems not to be sexual depictions of the body and classical art, or traditional art. Already, we see an issue here. Why is it that the art of Michelangelo, or the art of the Romans and Greeks, which include full frontal nudity of both genders, is acceptable, but a person doing similar art in their bedrooms is apparently pornography, adult in nature, and should be banned? What about the classical depictions of cherubs? Is that problematic? These are literal naked babies with genitalia exposed for all to see. Apparently this is okay, but not some random Tumblr artist. Surely that is child pornography, if you're going to be using their own hypocritical standards. The rest of it is political or newsworthy, so feminist protesters using their naked bodies in protest is a-okay. No surprise there, they have to please their consumers somewhat. Again, this begs more questions than it does answers, and only exposes the hypocrisy they have reduced themselves to. What will happen to my adult content already on Tumblr? We will send out email notices to members of the Tumblr community whose content has been flagged as adult. If your post has already been flagged as adult, it will be reverted to a private setting viewable only by you. They will basically be stopping adults from viewing material that by law and by general consensus in pretty much all of modern Western society is okay for them to view. These people who have done nothing legally wrong will have their livelihoods essentially stripped, as a lot of these people are artists who are via commission. Of course, it's tough luck to these people. Tumblr is a private company that could do whatever it wants and have whatever it wants on its site. Despite the fact that Tumblr, alongside sites like Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, etc., are basically used more like public utilities, should not concern us, and these artists apparently. They are a necessary scalp to ensure that as a business, Tumblr can survive the puritanical ocean that it is enabled to develop. Oh well. As always, please make sure the email associated with your Tumblr account is the one you use regularly. It's how we get in touch when we need you. Great to know, Tumblr. My content was flagged as adult, but I don't think it should be. What should I do? If you feel that we have categorised your post incorrectly, you can appeal this decision using the button on the post in question. Please note that this process is only possible to complete on the web or the Tumblr Android app version 12.2 or later to review your flagged content. If you're on iOS, please use the web to appeal for now. And they do go into more detail about how you can appeal this, but hey, while we're at it, let's talk about that. Already, users are complaining that content is being flagged by the algorithms that Tumblr are employing to police their site. Cat Sai says, cool, so much to log into Tumblr and find all my drawings with girls in them to be flagged as adult content? Nice! The Skywalker also posted this. Tumblr's automated system for flagging adult content is literally broken. The same image was posted twice in separate posts on my Tumblr, and the first post of it wasn't flagged. Spoopy Zav, another to complain, Tumblr is making some weird decisions. I haven't used it and I never drew adult content, so I doubt any of my— Kinuko is another artist who has had what is not even pornographic material flagged. Ironically, despite classical art being a-okay, again as I mentioned, it's not so if you are a pleb. Fully clothed pictures are also haram. And here's another. Now, are these teething troubles that all algorithms supposedly have to go through before the companies get it right? Or is Tumblr going all the way and using the ban hammer overzealously? Well, who knows? But I think in conclusion we can say this. The SJWs of Tumblr have gotten a taste of their own medicine. This is what happens when you do nothing but pressure companies like Tumblr in Silicon Valley to enact censorship policies and to police content online that you view as problematic. In the end, the same policies that you advocate for will be used by higher powers to attack you, and here we are seeing this in action. It could well be that Tumblr is using drastic measures to protect itself, but we all know what it really is. The sad fact of the matter is, NPCs being NPCs may never see the full picture and will simply see this as the forces of patriarchy, big government, big business or whomever attacking their pet loves, and ignore it when the same imagined or real forces attack their pet peeves. It's always too little, too late when it comes to censorship. So when I see people like Lacey Green post tweets like this saying, with Tumblr's new policy, sexual content has now been banned on every major social media website, how to overstate the significance of that? From the printing press to the internet, puritanical control of sexuality has always targeted tools of mass communication first. I cannot help but feel that this is the world that she helped create. This is the behaviour that her and other sex-positive feminists enabled and failed to curb. This is your bed, now you have to lie in it. It's been your boy, until next time, I'll see you later.